Hello, everyone. Welcome back to today's story. In this episode, while James is working far away on the Orange Hill, believing Diep and little Nye are safe at home, a hidden storm is already closing in on them. Out of nowhere, Phat, James's longtime friend, shows up with threats, money, and a chilling message sent straight from James's father. He tells Diep that if she doesn't walk away from James immediately, both she and Nye could be harmed. It's the moment Diep realizes just how far James's father is willing to go to erase her from his son's life. Stay until the end, because today's episode uncovers Diep's first terrifying confrontation with the man sent to break her spirit. And don't forget to subscribe to help us reach 10,000 subscribers. Your support truly means the world to us. The phone buzzes in the dead stillness of night, slicing through the silence like a thin, trembling thread. Diep jolts awake, stumbling into the narrow corridor before the sound can wake Nye. She presses the phone to her ear, breath shaky, and James's voice washes over her. Warm, tired, familiar, yet somehow miles away. I'm up on the Orange Hill. Maybe 1 or 2 more days, he murmurs, wind brushing against the microphone. Diep closes her eyes, imagining him standing on the slope under the early dawn light, jacket dusted with dew, hands rough from harvesting. Nye misses you so much, she whispers. I do too. The road must be terrible, right? James chuckles softly, the sound both comforting and heartbreaking. Miss the two of you like crazy. But hey, I'm picking huge sweet oranges today. You should see them. Diep's lips curl into a smile, but tears slide silently down her cheeks. The loneliness in her chest tightens until she can barely breathe. She glances back into the tiny room. Knee is curled on the bed, little fingers still clutching the blanket, murmuring, Uncle James, through her dreams. Outside, cold wind snakes in through the cracks in the walls, whistling like an omen. The man who protects her, who loves both her and Nye without conditions, is so far away. Too far. Come home soon, Diep whispers. I'm waiting. I will, James replies softly. Then the line cuts, leaving nothing but a hollow blue glow on the screen. The silence crashes in like a wave. Diep stands frozen in the frigid hallway, gripping the phone as if holding on to the last warm piece of him. Night swallows everything else. The next afternoon, the small cafe door swings open with a gust of cold air. Phat steps in. His presence shifts the entire room. People stop talking. Spoons hang midair. Even the fan seems to slow. He walks toward Diep with a predator's quiet confidence, eyes sharp and unreadable. He sits opposite her, folds his hands, and speaks with a calmness more frightening than anger. James's father paid big money to have you hurt if you don't leave him. The glass in Diep's hand trembles. She freezes, unable to blink, unable to breathe. Phat leans back as if discussing something trivial, his tone terrifyingly casual. You and the kid? Things might get ugly. Love won't pay your rent. Love won't put food on the table. Money does. His words slice through her chest like ice. Diep sees Nye's morning smile flash in her mind. She hears James's distant voice from last night. Everything tightens into a knot of fear. I've known James for years, Phat continues, lighting a cigarette. Smoke coils lazily between them like a warning serpent. I'm here to wake you up before things get too late." But Diep digs her nails into her palm beneath the table, grounding herself. When she lifts her head again, her voice, though soft, is steady. "I will never leave him." Phat smirks, stands slowly, and drops one final sentence. Sharp, cold, deliberate. "You will regret this." He steps to the side of the table, bending slightly so his whisper lands directly at her ear. "His world is full of wolves. And you're walking into their den with a child." Diep rises, spine straight, eyes burning through her fear. "No matter what his father does, I will stay with James. That is true love." Phat's laugh sounds like a dry leaf crushed underfoot. Love? The funniest thing in this life. Whoever loves more, loses more. He flicks ashes to the floor. You have A, he has B. Equal exchange. That's all love is. He leans closer again, voice dropping to a hiss. "Stop pretending you don't care about James's status, his money. You think I can't see it?" Diep steps back, but her voice sharpens. "One day, you'll meet someone who makes you risk everything. Someone you would protect without thinking. Then maybe you'll understand us." Something flickers in Phat's eyes. Irritation, or perhaps envy, but it freezes over instantly. "If I were a girl," he mutters, "maybe I'd love James too." Then, in a voice deadly calm, "This is my final warning, Diep. You and that little girl. Danger is already on its way." He leaves. His shadow stretches across the cafe's cold tiles long after he's gone. Diep remains standing at the table, but her legs feel numb. Her heartbeat is a frantic drum. Every part of her wants to run home, grab Nye, hold her tight. But she forces herself to breathe, to stand, to stay firm, because from this second forward, she knows. Every breath she takes, every step she walks with Nye, lies beneath an invisible blade controlled by James's father. Evening falls. Dust swirls along the village road as Diep walks home, arms full of the month's rent money wrapped in newspaper. She talks lightly with the landlord about corn, potatoes, ginger harvests. She smiles, nods, laughs politely, but her eyes remain distant. The wind slashes across her thin shirt, bitter and merciless. And in that wind, Phat's voice echoes like a dark prophecy. Love is just an excuse for people to use each other. Diep presses the money against her chest, heart thudding. She looks toward the tiny rented house, where soft light spills through the window, where Nee is waiting with her 3-person crayon drawing, taped proudly on the wall. Diep, Nee, and James holding hands. A family she may never be allowed to keep. Dusk paints her silhouette long, heavy, fragile, yet unbreakable. James is still 2 days and 1 entire orange hill away, and his father has already purchased the blade hanging over mother and child. Diep inhales sharply, steadying herself. She tightens her grip on the money, whispering inside her heart, "As long as I stand, as long as I breathe, no one will harm my little girl." She picks up her pace, each step heavier, louder, a quiet declaration of war against the darkness creeping in. The sunset bleeds across the sky like spilled wine, and beneath it, a small woman walks forward, toward home, toward her child, toward a love she may one day have to lose for their safety. But for now, she still walks toward hope. Night presses down on the village like a heavy, breathless sky. When Diep finally steps through the door with the rent money hidden deep in her bag, she closes it softly, almost fearfully, like someone trying not to wake a sleeping beast. Inside, the little house glows with a warm golden light. The clay stove crackles faintly, and the smell of simmering porridge still lingers. On the floor, Nye hums a tiny tune while coloring. "Mommy, look!" she chirps, waving her newest drawing. It's the orange hill again, bright and full of life. At the top stands a tiny figure, James, smiling under the sun. Beside him, two stick figures labeled Nye and Mommy. Diep kneels beside her, brushing a hand through her daughter's hair. "It's beautiful," she whispers. "Will he come back tomorrow? Or tonight? Maybe he's already halfway down the hill right now." Nye babbles excitedly. Diep forces herself to smile, though something in her chest tightens painfully. "2 more days," she says gently. "Remember? He's working very hard." Nye nods earnestly and carefully tapes the new picture beside the others on the wall, an entire gallery of their tiny, brave happiness. When Nye isn't looking, Diep sets the money down on the old table. Her hands tremble. She stares at the bills as if they might suddenly turn into the threats Phat hurled at her. Her fingertips go cold. From now on, she cannot simply be a woman in love. She must be a mother preparing for war. Hours later, the house is still. Nye sleeps, curled up with her old stuffed rabbit, cheeks rosy, her breath soft and steady. Diep quietly tucks the blanket around her before stepping out into the courtyard. The wind is bone cold. The moon hides behind clouds. The world feels deserted. Diep wraps her arms around herself. She closes her eyes. For a moment, she imagines James standing here just like he used to, hands in his pockets, smiling that awkward smile that always melts her heart. She wants nothing more than to tell him everything: Phat's threats, his father's cruelty, the danger closing in like wolves around them. But in her mind, she sees James's expression shift: shock, then anger, then guilt for leaving her alone. She sees him dropping everything to rush home, to confront his father, to burn every bridge just to protect her. And she knows what that would cost him. She can never let him carry this burden. That night, beneath a wind-shaken sky, Diep makes the decision she has been avoiding since Phat stepped into the cafe, with danger wrapped around him like a second skin. For Nye's safety, for her own, and for James, she will leave. Not today, not tomorrow, but soon, before anyone can hurt them. The next morning dawns bright and deceptively peaceful. Sunlight pours through the window, turning the dusty air golden. Diep braids Nye's hair, while the girl munches on sweet potatoes. "Mommy is thinking again," Nye says suddenly, her voice muffled around the food. Diep pauses. "Thinking what?" "About Uncle James," Nye says confidently. The truth hits Diep like a stone. She manages a smile and ties the ribbon with careful hands. "Mommy thinks about many things, but mostly him," Nye insists, nodding as if she understands everything. Diep lets out a quiet laugh that isn't quite a laugh. "Let's get you to school, little detective." As they walk, villagers call out friendly greetings. Children chase chickens across the path. Motorbikes rattle past. It's a normal morning, painfully normal for someone whose world is about to break. At the school gate, Nye gives Diep a quick hug before running inside. shoes tapping lightly on the tiles. Diep watches until her daughter disappears into a classroom full of giggles. Then Diep walks away, with lead in her bones. Every corner seems to hide eyes watching her. Every motorbike that slows makes her flinch. Her hands are cold, even when she stuffs them into her pockets. James's father had money, power, and men who obeyed without asking questions. And now those eyes, those hands, were pointed at her. By the time she reaches the crowded market, her throat feels raw. She washes vegetables, arranges baskets, calls out prices with the other vendors. But inside, she's somewhere else entirely. Somewhere darker. Somewhere terrified. At noon, her phone buzzes. James. She almost drops the cabbage she's holding. Diep? Are you at the market? He asks, voice warm and full of laughter from somewhere atop that windy hill. Yes, she says softly, steadying her breath. Did you eat yet? Or are you living on oranges again? He laughs. The sound cracks something inside her. I'm okay, but I miss the two of you. A lot. Diep swallows hard, turning away from the crowd so no one sees her face crumble. We miss you too. If the weather is good, I'll come back tomorrow night, James says. Surprise Nye, and maybe bring some things for you too. Diep's breath catches. Tomorrow? What's wrong? He asks quickly. Your voice? Just tired, she lies. I'm fine. James hesitates. She can hear it in the silence between them. If anything's wrong, nothing is, Diep says quickly, forcing her voice steady. Just call me tonight. I will, he says softly. When the call ends, Diep presses a hand against her chest, as if she can hold her breaking heart in place. But nothing steadies. Nothing stops hurting. Evening arrives like a sigh. Diep cooks rice, stirs sweet potato soup, and tries to keep her hands steady. Nye chats happily while drawing another picture at the table. This one stabs Diep deeply. Two people in the picture, just her and Nye, holding hands under a sky full of stars. No James anywhere. Why isn't Uncle James in this one? Diep asks. Nye shrugs innocently. Because Mommy is sad today. And when Mommy is sad, Uncle James isn't home yet. For the first time, Diep can't hide her tears. She turns away quickly, pretending to reach for a bowl, but Nye is sharper than any adult. Mommy, don't be sad, she whispers, pressing her cheek against Diep's arm. When I grow up, I'll protect you. Diep hugs her tightly, so tightly that her arms shake. Mommy is okay, she whispers into her daughter's hair. Mommy is just thinking about the future. That night, after Nye falls asleep, Diep sits alone in the darkness, staring at the faint moonlight slipping through the window. Her mind is a battlefield. She begins planning quietly, painfully. When James returns, she will welcome him with a smile. She will cook for him. Let him hold Nye again. Let him be happy. But she will not tell him about Phat. She will not let him fight this battle. She will not risk letting him throw himself in front of danger for her. No, she will leave before any of them bleed. Diep presses her forehead against her knees, tears slipping down her cheeks. The wind rattles the shutters as if urging her, pushing her toward the unthinkable choice. For Nye, she whispers, voice trembling. For James, even if it destroys me, I will go. She looks at the wall, covered in Nye's drawings of their little family of 3. Soon, those drawings will become memories. Soon, the three-person family will shrink back to two. But if doing so keeps them alive, keeps her daughter safe, then that is the price she will pay. In that still, haunting moment, Diep silently becomes something more than a woman in love, more than a mother,